everybody. It's so exciting to be here with you today. I have my lovely guest over here, Monica Marrone, and she has some great holiday snacking ideas because, hey, we are starting in the holidays, even though Halloween is not exactly a holiday, but boy, we got to deal with some snacking, don't we? So, Monica, say hi. I'm just so happy to have you with me today.
Hi, I'm really excited about being here, and thank you for this opportunity to bring some healthy food tips to your community.
Yeah, and the thing that's really cool, everybody, is this just is the first of many things that you have in store. Monica is going to be our Friday food and fun day. She's going to get on every week and just do things that have to do with your health and snacking and whatever else. So, Monica, you have a great little saying, and I just love it. So, you're a health coach, and you can tell them a little bit about yourself, but especially that little tag you put on.
Yeah. Well, my approach to healthy living, I call it living younger longer. And I'm 67 and I'm kind of in denial about how old I am. But my mission is to inspire faith-filled women to achieve vibrant health so that they can live impactful, service-driven lives. So it's about finding our health so that we have the energy and vitality to serve our families, live out our vocations, and then serve other people. So I call myself the fun and friendly health coach, not the serious and scary one, because although getting healthy is so important, I think we can have fun along the way. And so that's what I try to do. I try to keep it fun, and it's all about making small steps each day, whether it's, in your diet, what we're eating, which is what we're going to talk about today, or being active, staying active, doing cardio exercise as well as strength exercise. Those are kind of my three key points that I repeat over and over again because I'm still learning them too.
And I love that. And our reconnection, we've known each other for a few years, but we kind of didn't stay totally connected. And so when we reconnected, I just love that because it half the timing happened to be when God just, I mean, hit me over the head with Delinda. You have to start taking care of your body. I mean, how can I be of service to him and what his plans are if I'm not healthy enough to do it? And so as Monica and I reconnected and began talking about this, like, well, there's other people out there that need these tips also. So as I'm on my journey, she's going to help me as we go through and help you as well. So I'm just so excited you're going to do this and share with everybody on Friday. So sometime on Friday, you don't have to know exact time, but she's going to put it on there. So make sure every Friday you come check it out and see what her tips are for the day. So why don't you want to just start in and kind of talk to us about snacking through the holidays? And I see you have food out, so you're going to do a recipe.
Yeah. So I think that the snacking part is the part where we often fall down, whether it's, that 3 o'clock in the afternoon moment where all of a sudden we're really hungry, but it's too early for dinner. Or, as you start going to holiday gatherings, if you go there too hungry, you're tempted by a lot of the sweets. And so I just want to give you like my guidelines for healthy snacking, tips for snacks for every day, and then I have a recipe for a pumpkin dip. So we'll go over that in a little bit. And I've been on a kind of a trend. I'm seeing how many pumpkin recipes I can come. So my challenge was 7. I think this is number 5. But first of all, in terms of healthy snacking, this is my guideline. So it's around 150 calories, 7 to 10 grams of protein, 3 to 5 grams of fiber, and less than 10 grams of sugar. And the trend is towards a higher protein diet. And one of the reasons for that is that it helps to stabilize your blood sugar. It helps you to feel fuller longer, especially when it's paired with fiber. And that's going to help you kind of keep that blood sugar a little more stable and not get sucked into sort of the sugar highs and lows that can happen if we're indulging a little bit too much. And I always talk to people about becoming a label reader. And maybe one week we'll talk a little bit. There's an app that I put on my phone that you can use when you go to the grocery store and scan stuff. But I was talking to Delinda about how, when you go shopping seasonally, they always have these like really decadent looking cookies and cupcakes out. This is particularly at Walmart in the little town where I live. And they change color seasonally. Like right now, they would be orange for Halloween. But the thing is, they don't ever go bad. I bought these a long time ago just as a demo, and these cupcakes are 2 years old.
No way. Oh
And
my
they haven't
gosh.
spoiled. They haven't spoiled because it's just all sugar and fat. So I empower you before you pick up stuff like this at the store. Look at the label, and each one of these cookies has 160 calories. So it's about the same amount of calories as in one my snack idea, but it has zero fiber. It has 1 gram of protein, and it has 16 grams of sugar. So this is what we want to avoid. And
For sure. Yeah, they always look so enticing, right?
yeah, they're designed, and I I kind of go back and forth. I tend to often indulge in the salty, crunchy snacks, which is kind of another topic. But as far as the sweet side of things, I do pretty good other than chocolate. Chocolate's kind of my downfall. Um, but we went over the healthy guidelines. Oh, here's some other ideas for you. Just for like everyday snacking, something in again, usually in that afternoon time frame or late at night, sometimes you get that urge to snack. But Greek yogurt with some berries and maybe a little sprinkle of nuts, a handful of almonds and an apple. So again, the apple gives you fiber and you're getting some protein from the almonds. Cottage cheese is back in style now because it's high protein. So you'll see lots of cottage cheese recipes out if you're out browsing the internet. But one of my favorite is some cottage cheese with a pear and some cinnamon and a little bit of ginger. It's really yummy. So this pumpkin or this protein dip that I make very often in the afternoon is really quick. And you put your favorite protein powder in a bowl, a little bit of nut butter. You can use peanut butter or almond butter, and then liquid of choice. Sometimes I use a little coffee, but sometimes it's just water. You stir it up with a wire whisk, and you have a high protein dip really quick. But today I wanted to give myself the challenge of making a high protein dip that was a little bit on the sweet side without being too sweet and did not have the protein powder in it. So I made a dip and I had my husband sample it this morning and he said it tastes like pie, tastes like pumpkin pie. So that's the name I'm going to give it is pumpkin pie dip. And what I put in there was a can of garbanzos, some pumpkin puree, and almond butter were the three key ingredients. And I will post the full recipe later in the group. So I'm
Great,
going to go
great.
into every single detail of the ingredients. But it also had some coconut milk, maple syrup for sweetener, vanilla extract, and a little bit of salt. And so you could serve that for a snack or for yourself or at a holiday event. I've got it here with apples and celery. And then for the full sort of pie illusion, you could serve it with some graham crackers.
Ooh.
So I think it would be a hit with kids or adults. And you could I'll post the full recipe. If you want a smaller amount, you could half the recipe if you were just making it like for yourself um, and
It
didn't want
looks
to.
like a great one. So, like my husband goes to a neighbor's every Chiefs game, and he has to take something, and usually, chips or pretzels or whatever. But this would be a great thing to take.
Yeah, and the other tip I have is, a lot of the prepared dips that you get at the grocery store, again, be a label reader. A lot of them are made with sour cream and um and they don't really have any protein in them or very little protein and a fair amount of fat and a fair amount of calories. But if you're making your own dips, yogurt, if you have a recipe that calls for sour cream, you could easily substitute yogurt and it would increase the protein intake. So if I sound redundant about the protein, I've just learned so much in the last couple of years about how our need for protein actually increases as we get older,
Ah,
and that many of us are not getting enough protein to fuel muscle protein synthesis
ah,
to build muscle. And so if you're not tracking your daily protein, uh, and you're interested in doing that, comment on this video and I can send you a little handy protein tracker that you can put on your phone.
also,
Any,
you have another little guideline. You said if they just put a yes in the comments, that you'll send to them. Is that right?
oh yeah, yeah. This is a healthy eating resource guide that I use with some of my health coach clients, and it has the snacking guidelines that we talked about and a few more ideas. And then it also has tips on eating 7 servings of fruits and veggies a day. And it has guidelines for how much fiber, hydration, and protein. So it's like all those like guidelines of healthy eating all in one place. It's a really handy resource, and I'm happy to
Cool.
share it with your
Yeah,
group.
I love that. I'll print it out and maybe put it on my refrigerator or something so that I'm always looking at it. That would be great. Thank you.
So I think we can all enjoy this season, between now and the end of the year and just make more judicious choices on how we're going to fuel our bodies uh, each day. And yeah, I don't know, and have fun along the way.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And I'd love the how you bring it all together because it is just small steps, right, Monica? We have to start someplace. It could be starting with the reading labels. I'm trying to avoid anything with preservatives. Well, so that leaves out lunch meats that, you just buy. They're just, if I can't, I'm kind of, I don't know, I'll ask your opinion right here. If I can't read the name or say the name, I'm not going to eat it. So,
Yeah, that usually, very often, the fewer number of ingredients on a label, the better off you are. I'll also post a link to this app that I use
okay.
on the thread. It's called Yucca, and I don't abide by all of it, but you can use it when you go to the grocery store, and you can scan stuff, and then it'll give you a rating of like 0 to 100. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, sometimes I still will buy items if they're, above 50, but if it's got like a 10 or something like that, that's usually a red flag that I want to avoid it. So
Okay.
yeah, this is a great adventure. We can trickle little tips every week without overwhelming people. So thanks
I
again for the opportunity to be here, and I hope to hear back from some of you about what healthy habit you're working on.
That is great. And also, if you guys want to comment and let her know what concern you have with yourself, like what your item is or what you'd like more information, then that lets her know what your interest is and she can address it on various Fridays. So it's a way of connecting that way too. So comments are good. And I'm not going to be every week because I don't know all this stuff. I'm learning myself, but Monica will, and we'll just follow her guideline. And any last comment that you want to make, Monica? This has been so awesome. I appreciate you so much. Our new Friday food and fun day.
Yeah, happy Halloween, I guess. And I do all of this with my faith wrapped up into it. That is really the motive behind all this, to encourage women to find their healthiest self. So, keep that in mind and invite the Lord into your health journey.
Oh, we could even call it Food, Faith, and Fun Day.
All right. Maybe it'll motivate me to find a scripture for each week.
Or at least one overrunning that we know the ones that talks about our bodies being the temple, and keeping our keeping in balance because God gave us everything that we need to live. We've kind of messed them up a lot along the way, but this way going back to really understanding and just knowing how it helps us, right? And that's what you'll do, Monica, is just help us understand how to eat better to fuel our bodies because we have to have it, but not be obsessive. And I have always been a compulsive eater, and that's what's changing. I mean, like I said, God just said enough, and that changed a month ago. That changed. So anyway, I just love it. Thank you again so much. We'll look forward to seeing you every Friday. And everybody, remember that life's not a matter of chance; it's a matter of choice. So go out there and choose healthy foods instead of the not so healthy. Bye
All right.
now.